It's June and summer is almost upon us, but downtown is already busy. If Memorial Day weekend is any indication, it should be a great summer. I'm Huntley Harrison, together with Richard Garvin and Jerry Panuzak, to bring you the June installment of Chatham Today, the show that keeps you up to date with what's happening in the town of Chatham. Today, we are at the Chatham Marconi Maritime Center, where they will be celebrating the Marconi Station Centennial on June 21st and 22nd. And the grand opening of the new Education Center. We will have more about that later in the cablecast. But first, planes, trains, and automobiles. On June 7th, rain date June 8th, Chatham Airport will be holding its first annual open house. The airport is on George Ryder Road, opposite the Town Hall Annex. Doors will open at 9 a.m. and will be open until 2 p.m. See general aviation airplanes up close and talk with local pilots. See a working model railroad layout presented by the Nauset Model Railroad Club. Check out some cool antique cars and meet members of the Model A Ford Club of Cape Cod and the Northeast Alfa Romeo Owners Club. Enter a raffle for a sightseeing trip over the Cape by air. This is sponsored by Cape Aerial Tours, and proceeds from these flights will support the Monomoy Youth and Family Center and the Women of Fishing Families. There will be activities for all ages, so bring the family. The folks at Hangar B Eatery will cater tasty treats. For more information, go to the Chatham Airport website, chathamairport.com, and click on the link for the open house. This should be a great day with good fun for all. That's June 7th from 9 to 2. Rain date is June 8th. The Creative Arts Center is gearing up for a busy summer. Looking for something to do during June? Come in and see the 19th Annual All Cape Cod Art Show, which runs through the end of the month. For more information about workshops and a complete listing of the summer classes, come into the center on Kroll Road, call them, or check out their website. Drop in, take a tour, and inquire about becoming a member. If you are interested in learning about art or becoming an artist, this is where you need to be.
And now for the June events at the COA. An AARP driver safety program will be held Monday, June 9th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Cars and traffic rules change all the time. Some drivers over the age of 50 have never looked back since they received their first driver's license, and even experienced drivers benefit from brushing up on their driving skills. There are no tests or driving involved with this program, and you may be entitled to a discount on your car insurance after completing it. $12 AARP members, $14 non-members. Payable to AARP. Bring lunch or enjoy their gourmet lunch available for $7. Lunch reservations required by Friday, June 9th. Call 945-5190 to register. Here's a special event. The Chatham Council on Aging's 40th Anniversary Open House on June 13th from 10 a.m. to noon. Activities will include generator ribbon cutting ceremony, Chatham Fire Department truck and gear exhibit, Chatham Police Department information table, Friends of the COA meet and greet, and refreshments. And now for all of you Jimmy Buffett fans, Margaritaville concert on Monday, June 16th, 1 to 2 p.m. Come waste the day away at COA Margaritaville Concert, a Jimmy Buffett tribute performed by Harry French, local musician and performer. Harry regularly plays venues on Cape Cod, Boston, and the Florida Keys. Buffett's music is widely known for its focus on the island lifestyle. Songs like Margaritaville and Cheeseburger in Paradise made him an icon. Now you can enjoy them performed live right here at the Senior Center. For lunch, they will be serving guacamole and chips, chicken and shrimp soft tacos with a peach salsa and all the fixings, with key lime pie for dessert. Lunch reservations must be made by Friday, June 13th. Call the COA to sign up. Senior Tax Work-Off Program. Enrollment for Year 3 of the Town Tax Work-Off Program will take place on Wednesday, June 18th this year, at 10 a.m. at the Senior Center. The COA is excited to roll out Year 3 of this program. It is the hope and intent that this program will further enhance Chatham's municipal services by utilizing the expertise and skills of Chatham senior citizens, increase seniors' community involvement, and allow senior citizens to provide services in support of the town while granting them property tax relief. Optimizing emotional and mental strength. On Monday, June 30th, from 1 to 2 p.m., come for a lecture given by Dr. Alan Schwartz about optimizing physical and mental strength through physical activity. Quote, "The brain takes its cues and is informed by the body. Neuroscience shows us that emotions reflect the state of the body and that neurotransmitters like dopamine and serotonin," that's a tough one, folks, "fuel the brain," says Dr. Schwartz. He was a USA Triathlon team counselor at the 1997 World Triathlon Championships, a 4-time national champion triathlon, duathlon, 9-time podium finisher, multi-time All-American, and a competition official for the Olympic trials in Sydney. Why not join them for lunch at noon? Reservations for lunch must be made by Friday, June 27th. Call the COA to sign up.
And don't forget the June events at the Eldridge Public Library. Author event with Bill Reuter, Tuesday, June 3rd at 7 p.m. Retirement's 4 important questions and the answers. Bill Reuter is an experienced corporate executive, entrepreneur, professional consultant, researcher, teacher, and psychologist with more than 30 years of experience in the field of executive coaching, human factor consultation, and management and business psychology. His most recent book, Beyond Work: How Accomplished People Retire Successfully, explores how accomplished people prepare and live well as they retire. This is a must-see program. Book to film discussion groups, Saturday, June 14th at 2 p.m. This month's selection is Mao's Last Dancer by Kun-Shin Lee. Read the book, come to the library to view the film, and join in a discussion of book versus film. Books are available at the library to check out. Life in Chatham, circa 1914, a local perspective. On Tuesday, June 17th at 7 p.m., join Chatham native Todd Kelly for a perspective into life on Cape Cod in general and in Chatham specifically during the year 1914. He will explore the nature of community and the communal fabric that sustained a year-round economy. He will also consider the role that seasonal tourism started to play, as well as how Chatham maintained its local identity up into the late 20th century in the face of weathering change. This program is part of the Chatham History Weekend. Author event with Nancy Thayer, Thursday, June 19th at 2 p.m. Nancy Thayer is the author of 23 novels, including Summer House, The Hot Flash Club, Beachcombers, Heat Wave, Summer Breeze, and Island Girls. Her books concern the mysteries and romance of families and relationships, marriage and friendships, divorce and love, custody and step-parenting, family secrets, and private self-affirmation. The quest for independence and the normal hunger, human hunger for personal connections. Come to the Eldridge Library to hear her talk about her latest book, Nantucket Sisters, which is due out on June 17th. Drop-in story time for ages 3 to 5, Saturday, June 21st at 10:30 a.m. Join them for stories, songs, and a craft. No registration is required. Discover the history of your home on Saturday, June 21st at 12 p.m. To assist people who are interested in learning the history of their Chatham home or commercial building built at least 100 years ago, Historical Commission designee Don Edge will be available to help at the Eldridge Public Library as part of Chatham History Weekend.
Wrapping up the month of June, we will highlight several other events. But there is much, much more going on, and we refer you to the Chatham Chamber of Commerce website for a full listing. Rich, what's happening at the Atwood House in June?
The Atwood House Museum continues its wilderness lecture series entitled Constructing Wilderness. This series of lectures celebrates the 50th anniversary of the passage of the Wilderness Act and the establishment of the Monomoy Wilderness Area, the only place in Massachusetts to have that designation under the Act. The series has brought historians, literary scholars, artists, and scientists to Chatham to explore the place of wilderness in American culture. The sixth and final installment will take place at the Atwood House Museum on Sunday, June 8th at 2 p.m., and will focus on the natural world and its uses, 1660-2010. The speaker will be John T. Kumbler, Professor of History, University of Louisville. Mark your calendar for this very interesting program. June 21st and 22nd is Chatham History Weekend, and one of the highlights of the weekend will be the Atwood House Museum. On June 21st, the Atwood House opens for the season with two brand new exhibits, Works Most Artful and Ingenious, embroidery by Chatham resident Anne Gray, and The Chartmakers, which highlights the work of George Eldridge of Chatham and his son George W., who were responsible for creating navigational charts of the dangerous waters around Chatham. The Atwood House will also have the Constructing Wilderness photography exhibit on display. The Atwood House Museum will be one of 9 sites participating in this year's Chatham History Weekend, June 21st and 22nd. And if you want to get a jump on the weekend, on Thursday, the Orpheum Theater will be showing The Great Gatsby. During the weekend, many Chatham historic sites, including the Atwood House, Marconi RCA Wireless Museum, the Caleb Nickerson House, the Chatham Windmill, the Mayo House, the Railroad Museum, and the Eldridge Public Library will have special events and will be open free of charge for the weekend. The Women's Club will host a children's history hunt that will involve a hunt for clues by exploring the historic Chatham institutions. On Saturday, the Power Squadron will present a lecture on its 100-year history at the Monomoy Yacht Club, and the Marconi RCA Wireless Museum will have a celebration for the opening of Hotel Nautilus. On Sunday, join local naturalist Todd Kelly for a free 2-mile walk and presentation of the natural history and human history of Barclay Pond Conservation Area and Training Field Triangle Conservation Area. Visit the History Weekend website at www.historicchatham.org/weekend-HTML for more information on other events for History Weekend in Chatham.
This year marks the 100th anniversary of Guglielmo Marconi building the transatlantic radio campus overlooking Riders Cove as a critical part of his worldwide wireless network. To celebrate, the Chatham Marconi Maritime Center will open its second building on the site at 847 Orleans Road. The newly renovated Education Administration Center is complete and has 2 significant new exhibits. The former Hotel Nautilus, which housed site workers, including U.S. Navy operators during World War II, will feature a display showcasing wireless shark tracking and another on wireless automatic identification systems in the lobby exhibit area. Classrooms and administrative offices constitute the remainder of the 3,000 square feet of renovated space. Classrooms host ongoing evening and summer STEM education programs. Sitting across the expanded parking lot from the former hotel is the interactive museum building, which once housed the station's operations center. Here you will find exhibits tracing the station's storied history, along with the development of wireless radio technology, a video theater, and a gift shop. Under the Radio Corporation of America, RCA, and known by the call letters WCC, the center, during most of the 20th century, was the busiest ship-to-shore station on the East Coast. In addition to relaying all types of commercial and personal messages to ships around the world, WCC provided communications to aviators including Charles Lindbergh, Amelia Earhart, and Howard Hughes. During the Second World War, the Navy operated the Chatham facility as Secret Station C, with a mission to locate and intercept coded messages from enemy submarines and surface ships. This turned out to be a key factor in winning the Battle of the North Atlantic. Interactive exhibits, including one designed to teach basic Morse code, highlight videos of Marconi's life, the role of WCC in world events, including the sinking of the Titanic, and authentic shipboard radio from the hospital ship SS Hope, artifacts from important periods in WCC's history, and the opportunity for visitors to view the station's operational amateur radio station, WA1 WCC. The repurposed and newly renovated hotel grand opening ribbon cutting and centennial celebration will be Saturday, June 21st at 10 a.m. The new Education Center facility and museum is open free to the public on Saturday after 10 a.m. and Sunday at 1 p.m. during Chatham History Weekend, June 21st and 22nd. Regular museum admission remains $5, children under 10 years of age free for the 2014 season, with the following schedule: June 24th through August 31st, Tuesday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 5 p.m., and Sundays, 1 to 4 p.m. The center is closed Mondays, September 3rd through October 12th, and Wednesday through Sunday, 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. I'm sitting here with Mr. Chuck Bartlett, president of the Chatham Marconi Maritime Center. And we're going to talk a little bit today about what goes on here at the museum, and Chuck will introduce us to an overview of things happening. Welcome, Chuck.
Well, welcome, Huntley. We're delighted that you're here today. The Chatham Marconi Maritime Center is dedicated to the history and education of wireless communication over the years. And our perspective clearly is the Marconi radio station here in North Chatham.
Okay. I understand that the Maritime Center has leased and renovated a second building on the site. Why was that important for the Maritime Center to do that?
Well, it was important because we leased this building that you're in now, what's called the operating building, back in 2010. And we installed exhibits, and when we were done, we discovered we had no more room left in the building. We have a small audio-visual room to show people videos and a small office, but we had no way to expand the exhibits or start up our education program.
And why is this an important year for the Marconi Maritime Center and the history of the station?
Well, it's important because it's the 100th anniversary of the building of the station, which was in 1914. And the Marconi Corporation built 4 stations in that year. And the building was fairly straightforward, but then bringing the station online got more involved because the First World War came along. And so we tell a little bit about that story in the next building, which is the hotel building. And what we have over there is room for an expanded exhibits and an education center.
Oh, I see. And I understand that during the Chatham History Weekend, you have a big celebration going on here. And just out of curiosity, do you have any celebrities coming to help celebrate?
Well, you know, we were very fortunate. I got an email from a professor at Rutgers University saying that he had befriended Guglielmo Marconi's youngest daughter, Elettra Marconi, when he was in Rome, and she was coming over here in late June. And she said, if I'm coming to the United States, I want to go to Cape Cod. And she had friends at the Wellfleet Station and here. So she's going to join us the weekend of our celebration. And she's a charming person and just absolutely lights up the room when she comes in.
Well, that's wonderful.
So we're looking forward to having her here.
Oh, I bet. You know, and I know that in the summertime you have children come into the Education Center for a STEM program. And tell us a little bit about the STEM program that you're going to be running.
Well, STEM stands for science, technology, engineering, and math. And that's clearly sort of right in line with the kind of things that we're pursuing here at the Marconi Center. And so this will be our first summer for a summer science program, and We'll hold it in our education room next door. We have a brochure about the courses. There are a total of 6 courses that we're offering for children entering grades 4 through 9. And each course lasts for a week. It's a half day. The brochure, which you see here, can be seen online at the www.chathamarconi.org. And you can see the brochure and the courses, and they range from an astronomy course, marine STEM mania course, 2 robotics courses, and a chemistry course and a communications course.
Oh, that's marvelous. What a great opportunity.
Very exciting, and they're run by some of the wonderful teachers here in the local school system.
Oh, that's great. What a wonderful opportunity for them. And you know, speaking of the local school system, I understand that the antenna field has a new trail through it, which was kind of repurposed, I guess, by Elijah Eldridge as a Eagle Scout project. Tell us a little bit about that.
We're very excited about that. Of course, you know, an important part of any radio station is the antennas that are there, and a good part of the 13 acres here was taken up by antennas. And so we now have, thanks to Elijah, a walking trail that takes you up to the top of the hill. You can see the remnants of the old 350-foot mast that was there that held antennas throughout much of the life of the station. And you can see a couple of our new antennas that we've got up there for our exhibits. So
well, that's great.
It's a nice little, it's a little exercise. You have to walk up the hill, but it's a nice view at the top.
But that'll be great for people to do this summer. Well, I thank you for that overview. And we're going to move on with Mr. Dick Kraser, who's going to tell us a little bit about the role of the museum during World War II and a little bit more about some of the history of the museum. I'm here with Dick Kraser, Executive Director of the Marconi Maritime Center, and he's going to tell us a little bit about the museum itself. Dick?
Well, thank you very much. The Marconi RCA Wireless Museum is a very popular place with visitors. We start you out with close to a half an hour of different videos. You don't have to see them all at one time, but they're professionally produced and tell much of the story of the station. There are 7 exhibits in this building. They're not simply just things to look at, but you have to sit, spend a little time, work at the touch screens, design the exhibit for yourself. People that come here spend at least 3 hours, and most people that come in run out of time before they run out of things to do. We have exhibits that help you learn about Morse code. We have exhibits that explain how shipboard communication took place for over 50 years from this particular station. We talk about World War II, when this place was closed down and the Navy took over, spying on submarines and Admiral Dernitz's headquarters in Germany during a time that was very important because of submarines that were attacking our merchant ships right off the coast here of Cape Cod. We have other exhibits in the other building. This building focuses on the history during the time that the station was in operation, but in the other building, we are focusing on communication of the future and how devices communicate with other devices as we move from people talking to people to cars talking to other cars to sharks talking to satellites, if you will. How do we know where Mary Lee is currently swimming in the ocean? We talk about the programs that watch ships and ship traffic off the coast, how ships can avoid each other and their captains can understand what other traffic is available. We hope that you'll enjoy your visit here, and we look forward to your visit.
Well, thank you, Dick. That's very important information, and I'm sure that the summer will be very busy for the museum, and hopefully I'll get a chance to come over myself.
Well, I invite you all to come, and please enjoy yourself while you're here.
Well, thank you. We're going to move now to an interview with Frank Messina, and he's going to tell us a little bit about the new Nautilus renovation of the Nautilus Hotel.
Welcome. Come on in.
Well, we're here in the Hotel Nautilus with Frank Messina, Vice President of the Chatham Marconi Maritime Center. And he's going to give us a brief tour of what goes on at the Hotel Nautilus and a little history of the building. Frank?
No, thank you very much. Thanks for visiting us. Well, it was a hotel, the Hotel Nautilus. It was built in 1914 as part of the whole campus of buildings that Marconi built, one of the multiple stations he was hoping to put all over the world. But during 1914, there weren't too many hotels or holiday inns, so the single men, had to have some place to live, and that was the purpose of this, in fact, this hotel. The construction of it was by a very famous architect builder, someone called J.G. White, and he built major industrial buildings all over the country. Well, this particular room that we're in right now is the living room of the hotel, and as you can see, the architecture was typical of what was going on around the turn of the century, and the men actually spent their leisure time in this living room. To our right, there was a pool room with the billiards, no television back at that time, and the entertainment was billiards. So the Chatham Marconi Maritime Center, in taking over this building and doing a major renovation, now are going to utilize this building as our function room, and we will have major exhibits in addition to the exhibits which you saw in our museum. We can walk over here. I'll give you a quick walkthrough, a sneak preview.
All right.
Okay. As you see here in this particular room, which was the former billiard room, we're going to have 3 major exhibits. We're going to primarily focus on our great white shark exhibit. Again, not from the biology of sharks, but communication between the transponders which are mounted on the sharks and how they're tracked. In addition to shark tracking, we're also going to have an exhibit on a new system called AIS, Automatic Identification System. It's a system that all major boats and even recreational boats will have, which will allow them to communicate with one another and get history of where the boat is, what it's doing, and where it's planning to go. Our third exhibit, which is not yet, as you can see, everything kind of here is in a draft situation, is we hope to have a Phantom II UAV, unmanned vehicle, and we hope to be able again show the multiple phases of communication with wireless and GPS and cell communication within those particular items.
Now, let me ask you a question about this. Will the students in the STEM program be learning a little bit about unmanned aerial vehicles and perhaps even have a drone that they might be able to utilize and learn how to play with, so to speak?
That's exactly what we plan on doing. We're going to have a couple of drones here. We're going to be, quite candidly, learning ourselves and then have classes with students as we teach them how they operate and how they communicate.
What a great experience for the kids.
Right.
Absolutely.
If you take a quick look here, you could see a rendering of what we planned for the hotel. This particular room, which I talked about being the living room of the facility, will be our large conference area. So we'll be able to get 60, 70 people in here for conferences. We have a major state-of-the-art projection system, so we can show videos and have lectures. But key to this building, because we call it the Education Center, is that room on the other side, which in fact was the dining room of the hotel.
Oh, okay, well, let's go there now. This is nicely redone.
Yes, we tried very hard to preserve as much of the interior architecture and design. The windows are all original, the doors, the floors, everything restored.
Yeah. Let's go in.
Kind of sparse right now because we're just setting up, but this will be the classroom where I think Chuck Bartlett, our president, mentioned to you about our STEM program. So this is going to be the classroom where the students will be conducting the summer education program, our after school and evening education program. And we hope to have, we plan on having state-of-the-art communication and a Promethean board, which will allow the students to interact from their tablets.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
That's great.
I'd like to show you something just to give you another sense of the building as a hotel. This is an interesting artifact, actually, for those of you who watched Upstairs, Downstairs, and Downton Abbey. And this was the call board that was in the hotel. There were 15 rooms on the second floor, and this is how the various occupants would be able to communicate back to the people who were running the hotel. So it's a call guard. It's really an interesting artifact. So we hope to utilize the building not only for our education center, but also to be able to actually rent out and lease the facility. In fact, there are a couple of events that are going to be happening here during the summer to other groups in Chatham.
Well, that's great. That's wonderful. What a good idea. Thank you. Thank
You're
you
quite
very
welcome.
much.
Thank you for coming to visit us.
I appreciate it. Thank you. And that'll be it for now from Chatham Today and the Chatham Marconi Maritime Center. Thank you for watching.